All right, yes. So Jonathan Brady from Magnum Pest Control. So on to discuss kind of preparing everyone's home for termite fumigation. So Jonathan, welcome. You're muted.
Good morning, everybody.
So Jonathan, I am going to pull up the sheet that everyone received already that needs to be signed both by whoever lives inside the unit, as well as if the owner doesn't live in a unit, it has to be signed by both the resident as well as the owner of the unit. And so Cindy has to jump off and she's on the call, and she just wanted to ask a question, and then we could just kind of go through some of the requirements list line item by line item, and then we could have some discussion. And if anyone has any questions, we'll definitely follow up with questions. But Cindy, go ahead and ask your question.
Thank you, Jonathan. Following up from the previous meeting that we had, dairy products, do they have to be physically removed, or is double bagging sufficient?
No, double bagging is not sufficient, unfortunately, with dairy products. Dairy products must be removed.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too. And thank you for joining us again.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. Kevin, let's just review the date. You know, the November. What do you have as
fumigation?
Yes.
Yes, let me just pull that up really quickly because I don't have that in my head. Got too many dates in my head.
November 15th.
Got it.
Very good.
It's November 15th.
All right.
All right. And so what day of the week is that?
That I don't know.
I'm bringing up
Monday. So
it's a Monday. Okay.
That first thing that morning, November the 15th, and then they'll be home back on the 17th.
By 5 o'clock.
Yep.
All right, so we'll start right there with the schedule. We can't set a specific time. It will be in the morning. So the best thing to do for everybody is to be gone by 8:30, 9 o'clock, because we will have keys. We will be starting inspections. I'll be out there at around somewhere. I'll be there at 7:30, but we'll probably start inspections at around 8 o'clock. And all we're going to do is come in and make sure that your food is bagged correctly, that nothing's been left behind, and make sure that keys work. And that's why we do before the crew gets there. So we come between 9 and 5 as far as the crew to start the fumigation. The second day, they'll come back between 9 and 5 to take it down and lock it all up. And the third day, one or two of the guys will come out with the machines to make sure that the gas is gone and that it's safe for you all to return. So that's the schedule. It's between 9 and 5 every day, except the first day. I will be there to start inspections on each unit. And it's very brief. If everybody does everything correct, this is just to make sure everything's ready to save the crew time when they get there. And just make sure that nobody's going to lose any food or any money, you know, as far as having to throw food out. Okay, so we'll start right at the top. You should plan to be out of the house 2 nights, 3 days, which we just went over. All plants must be removed from the structure, and all coarse pets. If you have fish or live coral, that fish and coral must be removed from the structure. If you leave it in there, we do not replace it. So make plans if you have a fish tank of any type that you take the live parts of it out. The water will not be affected by the gas. Water and gas cannot connect. They can't mix. Okay. And it's important that if you have a fish tank, you have the oxygen machine in it. You must unplug that or turn it off so it's not injecting oxygen into the water. That's the only way it could happen. Water literally repels gas away. Okay. If you have cats, all cat litter must be removed. It's an absorbent and it holds the gas. Okay. The law requires that the structures be locked during the process of this. you all have a separate storage shed on the outside of your units. And even if it's on a screened-in enclosure, that unit, that closet, it's the only closet, the storage closet must be locked during the fumigation. So you either have to get a padlock for it and provide a spare key to it, or get a regular door handle that will lock with a key. If you don't, this will delay the fumigation, so please don't do that. It's just the law that outside closet must be locked, okay? So we have, we have a deadline for all the paperwork to be returned and your keys for shed and front door to be given to, what's her name again?
Katie, that's our office assistant.
Katie.
So you need to bring your key as well as the signed paperwork that you're seeing here that everyone received to Katie by the 1st. Either if she's not in the office, you could drop it in Dropbox. If you want to give it to her in her hand, email her. You can either email HOA@grovehomeowners.com or her directly at office@grovehomeowners.com, and she could coordinate with you a time to make sure that you pass it on. But again, the paperwork that you see here and that you all received already, everyone received it, both a copy at their doors as well as via email. And the key for all of the doors that whether it's the closet door or the access front and back doors, it needs to be in Katie's possession by the 1st.
And your keys will be returned. What we usually do is once the clear guy is done, he takes all the keys and he, you don't have a Dropbox anymore? Did you tell me that before?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. It could either be dropped in there. Of course, if you put it in a Dropbox, no one's going to need to label it and say which unit number it's for. But you could either drop it there or coordinate with Katie Kitchens, and she would be able to collect it.
Okay, Katie Kitchens. And so that's where we will be leaving them. We put them all together and we drop them in the box, and then Katie will be the one that you get it back from. Okay. So it's that storage door lock is very, very important. It is a law. We've kind of been lax about it before, but recently we have been noted from the state that we can no longer do that. So please. Okay. So November 1st is the deadline for that. Okay, all food. Let's do the food one last, because I'm going to demonstrate the bags and literally go through the food like we did last time. About mattresses, your adult mattresses do not need to be removed. If you have baby mattresses, which have a vinyl or plastic, they're covered, the mattress is physically made that way, they must be removed. They cannot stay in the structure. They don't let the gas out. So please, baby mattresses and baby changing table pads that are covered in that plastic or vinyl, like hospital mattresses included. If you're taking care of a loved one, that mattress, if it's not just cloth, if it's plastic or vinyl, must be removed. If you have plastic or vinyl covers, zippered covers on beds, if you travel a lot of people have these bed bug covers, they must be pulled off at least halfway back. If you have young children that you use the fitted plastic covers, you need to take those off. So very, very important that if you have young children and you're still using baby mattress or changing table pads, they must be removed, because if we find them in there, we will remove them. If it happens to be that we don't notice it till after we gas it, we have to cut them open because the gas cannot come out properly, okay? Electricity must be available, water and electricity. Please do not turn your electricity off. We put fans in to help circulate the gas, and we'll need lights. Please do not turn your electric off. You do not need to unplug computers or TVs anymore. I know that says that, but you don't need to worry about that. If you have old-fashioned timers that you plug in the wall and then you plug into the timer, those timers must be unplugged because they click. and they spark. So we can't have that. Continuing on that.
And the air conditioners need to be turned off.
Air conditioner needs to be turned off at the thermostat only. Please do not turn the breaker off. Thermostat only. We will turn it back on the second day. The reason for that is we have to come over the outside AC units, and the gas would leak out if we didn't. If you, for some reason, have a separate window unit, like on your patio or something, please unplug them. Don't worry about, just unplug them. There was another thing. Please do not unplug your refrigerator. We're going to go back to the food. Your food is going to go back into the refrigerator. And we'll get to the food part. Let's see. There's no gas, so you don't have to worry about that. As in cooking gas for your stove or water heater. Nobody should have gas, so you don't have to worry about that.
And the same thing with if someone has a barbecue grill on their patio.
That's no issue, because there's no pilot light. Fumigation of the structures. Okay, please, when you leave, before you leave, all your vanities, open the doors, your kitchen cabinets, please open them. And please, if you have blinds, they should be halfway up. If you have curtains or shades, please part them at, so it is a security feature so we can see somebody walking around. So make sure all your drawers and stuff, make sure you're, there are no attic accesses. If for some reason you do have an attic access, you must pop it open and move it at least 6 inches open. Okay, any outside plants must be cut back from the base of the house out 18 inches. If you have palm trees close to, and the palms are touching the structure, those palms must be cut from touching the structure, because the tent comes straight down to the ground, and we use sand snakes, which are pretty, they have some size to them, and the tent rolls up, it gets pretty thick. So we want to get down to close to the building into the ground to keep the gas in. You're all paying for this gas. I want it to stay in there overnight as it circulates and permeates everything in the structure. Okay, so if you have rock, leaves, or mulch, they must be raked back from the base of the building 18 inches. We want the ground. Grass is fine as long as it's cut to normal length. Thick weeds must be removed. Bushes and shrubs, make sure, guy, I'm about 200 pounds. I might be lying. I might be bigger than that. Can work back there and get a good seal for you all. So rock, leaves, and mulch create pockets to where the gas can leak out. So please, around the base of the building, all the way around, please do this. We're not responsible. If you have personal plants that are really close and you're concerned about, you may have to remove them and put them in buckets away from the building for a couple of days and then replant them. We don't expect you to take out big shrubbery and stuff. I'm talking about maybe you put in a rose bush that's a couple inches and you want to protect it. You may have to remove it. You have to make that decision. We do not replace any plants, of that nature. Compensate you for them or replace them. Okay, I think that's a pretty good explanation of that. As far as the porches, if you have extended fences and stuff, me and Kevin are going to be working on that, and if there's any further on that, we'll let you know. Any personal items, like on the back side of your house, if you have lawn furniture or grills, they must be removed. Put your furniture inside. If you have a porch overhang that's big, you can put the furniture there or the grills there because it's not going to affect anything. But if you have them on the outside and you have, they're just up against the wall where the tent comes down, you must remove that stuff because it can get broken. That tent gets pretty heavy and comes down pretty fast. Okay, during the treatment, it is necessary for crew to work on the roof. We've had no problem with roof damage. We've done 8 buildings and we've had no problems with HC, but be aware, sometimes things happen. But everything's gone well in the last couple of years. So flat roofs are pretty easy. if you have installed lights on your outside for your unit, like floodlights, and they hang outside the eave lines or porch lines, make sure you unscrew the bulbs. So it doesn't, tent doesn't get it and break it. Just, try to, if it's underneath eave lines or porches and stuff, you don't have to worry about it. Where were we at? The work on the roof, we talked about that. For your protection, if you have firearms or lots of jewelry, it is best to remove it. Now, if you have a big safe that that is certified fireproof or airtight, you do not have to open it up for us. Because if it's fireproof, air can't get in. That's why it's fireproof. So if you have firearms or jewelry, you can put it in there and leave it, and that's fine. We're really not interested in your personal stuff. And plus we have crew leaders on site. They monitor that very heavily. So we've never had a problem. I've been with Magnum 5 years and no reports of theft or anything. Customer understands that if you do not bag your food, or if your shrubbery and plants are an issue, that we have to do the work for you. It's $150 minimum per hour. And we do have the right to throw the food away, and that's time and labor. The reason we throw it away for you is for your protection. And we're gonna go over the food in just a minute. And you will be provided all the materials you need to bag it. I'm gonna make sure that you have all you need, and it's no expense to you. So understand, if you don't do the work, we have going to be coming to collect a fee, because we're going to charge it to the HOA. And so far, we've never had a problem, really. So far, so good. Real quickly, you cannot enter the structure till the all clear is given. You'll see a notice on your door. It's a letter saying it's been all cleared. You may re-enter. No dishes, pots, pans, or clothing need to be laundered. And let me be clear, because this product is a vapor, it's a gas that they've tested and permeates the wood and your furniture and everything, and kills the termites. Gas rises also, as you all well know, and once some doors and windows are open, it will go. And plus we have fans blowing it out, and we have meters that when we come back the third day to make sure that it's safe for you to get back in. There is no residue. There's no oil, powder, or water base that it can stick to your counters, your dishes, your clothes. Okay. If you're getting the termite droppings, the frass or fecal pellets, you notice it. That being an older building, you still may see that over the years. Okay. Because those are not going away. Those are just the residual effects of termite. They eat and they leave it in the wood. They poop in the wood, basically. And vibration and stuff can knock them out. But what you shouldn't see is, come in the summertime, termites flying around inside your unit. If you do, you collect them, take pictures, and you can call us directly to come out and look, or call Kevin. So don't panic thinking you still have termites all the time. Okay. As you know, again, another reminder, you see at the bottom of the worksheet, you must have a working lock for your storage unit, doorknob or padlock. All right, so let's go back up to the food part. You can see below, there's one that you've been given that talks about, I'm going to go through everything on this list about the food and the bagging, but you'll be given that, or have been given that, to remind you. And of course, my number is available. If you have questions that you'd like to ask me directly, which is the best way, Kevin's very busy in the office, doesn't really know the buildings, you can give me a call and give me a few minutes. If I don't answer, leave a message, I'll call you back. So what you don't have to bag, very important, is you don't have to bag, right there's good, thank you, is you do not have to bag canned goods. Gas cannot penetrate a can. You do not have to remove or bag anything in a manufacturer's plastic or glass jar, such as olive oil, salad dressings, pickles, olives, because that seal from the manufacturer protects your food from the gas from getting in. Okay. Any liquor or wine that's never been opened, you do not have to worry about. You do not have to waste your time bagging. If the liquor or wine's been opened, though, you must bag. If you have quite a bit of liquor, you entertain and stuff like that, I will warn you that we'll provide you with bags, but liquor bottles, because of all the different sizes and the different weights and everything, becomes a real pain for you to bag lots of liquor. So you may want to get a plastic bin and just remove it from the structure. And again, these bags are for leaving your food in the structure. They're not for transporting out. So if you need to do that, get some plastic bins and just take it out. But you make your own decision on that. Okay, so you do not have to worry about cosmetics like lipstick, eye stuff. Lotions or ointments, you're not ingesting it, so you can use them, they'll be fine. All medicines, I don't care whether medicines are open or closed, all medicines go in the bags, and we're going to go over how to bag next. And that includes simple stuff like cough drops, cough syrup, because you're still ingesting it. Aspirin, if you're diabetic, you know. Also, the last group of people, we told them, because I knew somebody was going to ask about your contact lenses, you put it in solution. It's probably a good idea to put that solution in the bags. We've never had a problem with that, but just go ahead and put them in the bags. It says here you do not have to worry about dental products like toothpaste and mouthwash. You make your own decision. You are putting it in your mouth. No one's ever complained and no one's ever gotten sick. I did this twice. I just, out of a sense of security, just put my mouthwash and stuff in the bags. So things you need to bag. Anything, we talked about the prescriptions, tobacco, if you're going to leave tobacco, if you work out, vitamins, protein powders, bars, supplements, all go in the bags. Pet food of any type. Did I say the thing about the cat litter? I think I did, that remove cat litter because it's an absorbent. You can't even bag the cat litter. It must be removed. Soft packages must be bagged, whether they're opened or closed. So if you have a box of pasta, it's got to, opened or closed, must be bagged. Potato chips, applesauce cups and pudding cups, all must be bagged. Anything like tuna comes in foil packs now, it must be bagged. You do not have to worry about paper plates, plasticware. You don't have to worry about any of that. You do not have to worry about your shampoo or detergents either. You can't be affected. Snacks, beverages in a can or a 2-liter bottle that's never been opened are fine, but if you've opened them, they must be removed or bagged. Bags of rice, pasta, noodles, bread must be bagged. I think you're getting the idea. Any sauces in a can that's never been opened, you do not have to worry about. If you have leftovers or storage that you keep in your plastic containers, you must bag them. And you can't, not the empty ones, obviously, but the ones that have food in them. You may keep them, but you got to put them in the bags. So the bagging, let's make sure I think that was everything. When bagging, you're going to put everything right back in the refrigerator freezer. That's what the bags are for, okay? And all your dairy must be removed. So we're talking milk, butter, sour cream, anything that's a dairy product cannot stay in the structure. The bags can't protect them. They can protect everything else, but not dairy. It's very, very sensitive. But everything else can stay as long as you use bags or falls under the non-bagging part. So bagging your food. When in doubt, bag it or call me. You double bag. Everything that you're going to use the bags for gets double bagged. So you take one bag. Am I up high enough here? These are the bags. You're going to take one bag and put it inside the other. And I'm demonstrating just to give you an idea. This is part of your paperwork. Double bag first. It's just easier. I did this twice in my life. And the first time, of course, I bagged the bag and then tried to fit the other one over, and it was very difficult. So you double bag first. Put the food you want in it. Now, if you're putting stuff in a freezer, a separate freezer, or your freezer at home, one, do not duct tape any of these appliances because they must be inspected, and duct tape does not keep the gas out. Okay, only the bags do. Okay. Once you get what you want in, you take the inside bag, the top of it, make a cone of about 4 to 5 inches. Okay, then you're going to twist it, pinch it, twist it, and this part you twist as tight as you can, as tight as you possibly can. There we go. You got this effect. You flip it over, keep it tight, take the zip tie and pull. If you want to use duct tape, feel free. It's just more difficult. You take it, you fold it down in, and you do the outside bag the same way. 4 to 5 inches, pinch and tie it, twist it, and then tie it. Double bag, separate tie, okay? I lost my train of thought for a second. And then air getting into the bags is fine, but for space-wise, you know, for putting it back in your refrigerator or in your freezers, you're probably going to want to squeeze as much air out. You may have to pull a shelf or something out of your refrigerator to get everything in. If, as you're going through this process, you find stuff you want to throw out, throw it out. Don't leave it in there and say, oh, I'll throw it out when I get back. I get a lot of people that do that, and then we have to do it for you. So double bag or remove or throw out. And that's pretty much it for that. Your dry goods you can leave right on the floor or on the counters in the bags, but read through your material and make sure you don't waste your materials that we give you on stuff and waste your time on stuff you don't have to bag. Okay. So we're November 15th. November 1st is the deadline for your keys and your paperwork. You have my phone number. I'm very, very busy. I'm working 7 days a week all the time. So if you do go to voicemail, please don't get frustrated. I will call you back. Okay. And your plants we went over. I think that's everything. Is that pretty much everything?
I believe you covered it all. So any questions from anyone? If you had any questions on what was presented by Jonathan, go ahead and unmute and ask your question. All right, I don't see any unmuting. So I will clip this video out as well and share it with everyone in case they need to rewatch. But again, they do have your contact number, Jonathan, where they could ask your their questions to you directly with any concerns they might have, or when they're preparing, if they need to just be reassured. That is certainly something that we encourage. We don't want, if you have a question, just don't be afraid to ask. Go ahead.
I know what I forgot. There, 2 things. There can be no alarms during the process. If you have a company service that monitors your fire alarm or your burglar alarm during the process, when the gas is shot in, it will set the alarms off and you're not getting back in to turn them off. So they're going to go off. So if you have ADT or whoever, please contact them and let them know that for a few days, it'll have to be off. Okay. Second of all, there can be no inner doors locked. Your exit doors will be locked, but no inner doors, closets or anything, because we have to open them and say, hey, we'll look and see if anybody's hiding. I know it sounds silly, but we'll make sure that everything's in there and there's no food that didn't get bagged or any medicines. We do inspect that for your safety. So please, no inner doors locked and no alarms.
So just
Okay,
to be clear, you don't need keys for inner doors if they rather have their code or a key for indoor, as long as it is open, that is good enough. If they left it
correct.
open, so you have access to be sure you check all doors, all closet areas to make sure there's no one inside the unit.
Right, and if somebody leaves a door locked and we can't get it open, we have to call a locksmith or we have to call you and you have to have it open. I got somebody, if there's somebody there that wants to ask a question, go ahead.
Go ahead and unmute, Januska.
I've got, okay, if I give you the code to my door, could that work instead of giving you a key? Because my house door is code. So what I could do,
Okay.
give him the code so they can get in and out of my house. And then once this is all done, I can clearly change the code on my door.
That's, so
Right.
let me ask you, do you
If
have,
I don't have,
you don't have a key at all?
go ahead. No, it's a
No,
keypad.
just a keypad, okay.
I have a key, but I don't know where the key is.
Okay,
so I use the keypad.
Because here's why, if you can't find it, that's fine, just double check the key code, because you can do that 100 times, and then we come out and you've gone to the beach, you know, to take a few days off, and we
Right.
usually ask for a key backup because
Well,
all,
I give you the code that I've been using for the past 3 years, and then once
Okay.
you've done, then I will change my own code.
yeah, that's fine. Sometimes what I'm saying is sometimes all of a sudden it'll fail because the battery dies or whatever.
Right.
And then we're stuck there. So the key is like a backup. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, because I believe, because I have a code in my door as well too, and when the battery dies, it automatically defaults to unlock, and then you won't be able to secure the door.
Yes, yeah, I've got a thing that I can plug into mine, so if that happens, it will automatically unlock my door.
Where are you
Because
from?
normally it will beep to tell me if the battery's going low. London.
I was gonna add, yeah, because I love the accent. I love that.
Thank you.
accent.
Thank
I
you.
do. Very cool.
So yeah, I mean, I can have a locksmith come out and remake me a key, but I don't.
No. I just, no, and the code's fine. You'll give it, you'll put it on your paperwork. So, you know, nobody else gets it. No, I'll be the only one. And then you can change it later. We just usually ask for a backup key, but if you don't have one, you don't have one.
Yep.
Okay.
Fine.
All right.
And
Sounds
the
good.
next thing would be back door as well too. Everyone has a back door that leads outside. We have to make sure that that has some sort of key or access to be able to lock that. And then of course, we already highlighted the outside
Yeah.
closet in the front.
I think most people with that door, you could, hopefully they'll have a way you can unlock it from inside, but that, and which is fine. Because that will come in the front door and go to the back door. But if they do have a key lock to it, where it only opens with a key like a deadbolt, they have to provide a key. It's got to be locked.
Esther Fife says she has a question.
Yes.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Yeah, my question is, I know we covered food stuff and dairy, etc., but I may not need this question, but I'll still ask. I do have a lot of like gift bags in here for really kids. And I'm wondering if the gas affects that as well, if I have to remove them, if I don't get to deliver them before the 15th.
Okay. Do these gift bags have food in them?
No, not food.
Then you will be just fine.
It's fine. It's not
Yeah,
gonna
as long as there's no
after.
food or any things they ingest,
Right,
they'll be fine.
right. Okay, good. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Anybody else? Okay.
Okay. Well, Jonathan, thank you very much. I guess, again, if anyone has any additional follow-up questions that they might think of later on, they'll contact you because you're the
Absolutely.
point of contact on that. Again, remember everyone's deadline to have the paperwork all signed and delivered, as well as the keys, or in Ms. Harris's this case, the code for her unit needs to be into the office by by the 1st of November. So we could hand that all over to Jonathan, so he has that, and so we could be ready to go. Jonathan and I will be doing kind of a walk around to ensure that you know, might, if you have any additional things you might need to know in terms of shrubs in front of your units, we're going to kind of eyeball it, and we'll reach out to those folks directly. Jonathan, last question for you, however, when are you going to be bringing the bags by so we could have them delivered?
I was hoping to do it, they're here. I just was gonna make up initial packages and then leave extras with you also. So I got everything this morning. It's here. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I wanted to do it this weekend. I've got to do it this weekend or this week because I will not be available next weekend. It's my anniversary, my first.
I remember you got
anniversary.
married close to this time of year. Yeah. Happy
Yeah,
early anniversary.
I'm going to be working on that. That's the thing. I got to look how many units. I didn't look at that.
Okay. I'll get that information to you. It's 4 buildings, but I think one of them is a 6-unit building and the others are 4 building units.
Yeah.
Or 4-unit buildings.
I can look that up. I just haven't had the time.
So,
but I do have all the materials here, and I'm going to be working on that this weekend, getting it all made up and then delivered somehow.
okay, perfect. So as soon as we have that, we will have someone drop it by everyone's doors. So we'll get Katie to head out there, just like you got notices on your doors. She will leave it at your doors so you all have enough bags. And if there's ever a need for more bags, we'll keep some in the office, and you could contact Katie to get any extras.
Just one thing. Kevin, did you give them copies of the bagging instructions and the other
yes,
ones?
pretty much what
Hey,
we
I
showed
need
them,
them-
they have a copy of it because I think they have to sign the other sheet as
Yes.
well too. Mhm.
That is something new we're doing. I need to have those signed. And I may not have made that clear to the other group that we want the prep sheet and the sign sheet with the food part on it.
Yep, you did mention it, and I'll
Okay.
make sure that I reiterate that in a notice to them, as well as they'll have access to this video. I'll make sure they have that. But when we receive back the paperwork, I'll make sure Katie is aware to look over the paperwork real quick to make sure that everything is good to go. And if there's something missing, she will follow up directly with that individual.
Okay. Very good. Kevin, if you'll send me a link to the film too, that'd be
I will.
great.
I've got one question. Could you give me the exact dates that this fumigation is going to take place? That way I
Yes.
book a
It
hotel for me.
starts November 15th. You want to be gone from the structure about between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. I can't tell you exactly when they'll arrive, but we're going to cover them and gas them that day, the 15th.
That's 8 a.m. Not PM.
Mhm, AM.
Right.
Okay.
First thing in the morning.
And then
Alright.
the next day, the 16th, we'll come and take them down, lock them all up, and the third day they will clear them and let you back in by 5 o'clock that day, the 17th. Just for anybody's knowledge, wondering why we take it down the second day is by law, you only need 12 hours, maybe less, to kill termites, drywood termites, but it stays on overnight. So you
hit that target.
It's 100% kill.
So, yep. So just to be extremely clear, you need to be out of the unit before 8 o'clock on November the 15th. And then the all clear will be given by 5 p.m. on November the 17th. And they'll put a notice on the door once the all clear is issued.
Correct. Correct. Okay.
Okay. Any last follow-up questions before we end the meeting?
Fantastic.
It looks like
All
we're
right.
good. So I'll go ahead and stop our recording and